Let's do this. Hello, everybody. My name is Nichole Carlson, and as soon as you jump on, say hi. Let me know that you're here. Let me know you can see me and hear me. And I'm just going to go ahead and check real quick. And, yep, I don't know where I am. I don't know where I am. Okay, so today we're going to talk about how my client went from 9K months to 77K months. And I really want this to be different than what's out there already. And because every single person who builds a business out there, if you want to really scale and you really want it to be easy, it has to come from your soul. Your business has to be soul aligned. And a lot of times what we do is we get out of corporate and we take the same mindset, that hustle mentality, and we put it into our business. And we think just because we have this message that our business is soul aligned, and that is not true. So, I want to get into a little bit about me, because why should you listen to me? Why should you listen to me? So I've been in the coaching industry for about 10 years now. I've done weight loss coaching. I've done business coaching. I've done relationship coaching. I've done all the coaching, right? And previously in my other life, if you will, I was in my 20s and I had it all. I had the husband, the house, the cars, the multiple six figures. Like, I had it all. And I was miserable. And we can pinpoint, like, oh yeah, I had problems in my relationship. Oh, I had problems because I hated software engineering and I was a software engineer. We can pinpoint that stuff. But the truth of the matter was, I got to a point in my life where I thought multiple six figures and this perfect life is not worth it. I don't want to be here. And I self-sabotaged. And so many people are getting into their businesses and it's hard. They're overworking. They're undercharging, they're burning out, and they're thinking, this is not worth it. And they get to a point where they're making $10,000 a month, or they're maybe even making 7 figures, right? But they get to a point where they think, this is not worth it. And I've seen these stories over and over again. People who I thought were speaking their soul's message, and they probably were, but they got to a point where they're like, fuck this shit. Fuck this shit. And I know that if you've been in business for a hot minute, that you've been at this point where you're like, I don't know if this is worth it. And if you're feeling that way at 10K months, 20K months, 50K, wherever you're at, if you're feeling that way, that feeling has got to go if you are going to scale, right? Because there's one thing that I want you to walk away from today for today. One thing. That mindset is the key to everything. And when I say that, I'm not saying that you have a bad money mindset. I'm not saying you have a poor mindset or that you don't have a great work ethic. I'm saying if you want to get to where you're going, you've got to have a different mindset. And we're going to go into all that. But your mindset has got to change. And it doesn't mean that what you have been doing wasn't working or that your mindset was not right for what you've been doing, because it has been right, because that's the reason you've gotten the results that you've gotten. But your mindset has got to change. You've got to level up, right? So this is for the person who wants to scale their business to multiple six figures and even 7 figures. This is for the person who wants to start charging more. This is for the person who wants to stop burning themselves out. This is for the person who wants to stop following someone else's system, right? Someone else's strategy. A lot of clients that come to me, they have the perfect system. They have the perfect strategy. They've invested with those high-level mentors where they give you this like perfect strategy, right? You do the webinar, you get it perfect, you nail it, you do your calls, you enroll them into your program, right? We all know those programs, and they work. But without the right mindset, without tweaking your mindset, then they don't really work as effectively as they would if you get the right mindset. And I'm not saying, again, I'm not saying you haven't been working on your money mindset. I'm sure that you have. I'm sure you've invested a lot on getting rid of your money blocks, and I'm sure that you're actually making money in your business and you've gotten over a lot of those money mindset things. But we have to go bigger. We have to go bigger. We have to expand if we're going to expand our business, right? So this is for the person who wants to be authentic. And they want it all. Like not just the house, the husband, the cars, the money, the clients, the impact. They want that soul connection. Because without that soul connection, you're going to get to a point in your life where it's not worth it, right? And we see this over and over again with millionaires and celebrities and even, you know, our friends that they throw away their marriages because they're not connected anymore. They throw away their careers. They throw away money because they're just not connected to it anymore, right? And I want you to know that if you're not building your business in a way where you are connected to it, like if you're feeling burnt out, you're not really connected to it, right? There's something awry. There's something that needs to change. So we have to stay connected to what we are building. And however you need to do that, that's like, you got to do that. You cannot be following someone else's system. You cannot be following someone else's strategy. You've got to stay connected to you, your desires, what you want, how you want to build your business. And a lot of times we just get into our business and we're like, you know, I'm tired of it not working. I'm tired of my own bullshit. I'm just going to buckle down. I'm going to do this shit. I'm going to get it done. And we hustle and we push through and we get it working. And so like a lot of my clients will get their system working, but it's not really working for them, right? So so my clients, they'll be about at like 10K and they'll come to me and they'll flip that switch and within 30 days they're making 50K. Right? Because they have the system, but they need the mindset and the energetics. So also, I'm going to be talking about Relentless. Because Relentless is about combining the hustle and flow. Combining those two and being soul aligned and getting what you want. Not just getting to 50K months, but getting the business that you want, having that soul connection, having it in the way that you want. And that is a 3-month mastermind. I'm not gonna hide it. I want you guys to know that this is open for you, right? It's a way to work with me for 3 months to get that soul alignment in your business, in your life, right? Because we're not here just to make money, just to build a business. We're here because this is our soul's calling. This is what we need to do. Like I I never wanted to be a speaker. I never wanted to go live. I never wanted to be in the public eye. But I had this message come through me so strong that I had to get up and speak about it. So I want you to have it all. I want you to have it all. So if you want it all, type in have it all, because that's what we're here for. So the thing that you need to know is mindset is the key to getting everything that you want. So there are 3 things that you need to have down, and a lot of you already have this, but I want you to look at this and I want you to say, like, where are the holes in my business? Because I am the kind of person who I'm like, no, I'm not a cook. I eat a lot of chicken and rice. I have meal prepped forever. I do bodybuilding competitions. So chicken and rice, they're my staples, right? But sometimes, I'll eat turkey and rice and turkey and potatoes and beef and rice and fish. You know, like I vary it up a little bit, right? But not much. Not much. But sometimes I'll get to a point where I'm like, you know what? I'm so bored. I'm going to find a recipe and I'm going to follow that recipe and I'm going to have an amazing dinner. And so I'll look up the recipe, right? So you can pretty much say that I have cooking blocks, and you can correlate this to like money blocks and your business blocks, right? So I have cooking blocks because I am anti-cooking, right? So I'll look up a recipe, have this amazing recipe, and I'll be like, okay, I'm going to make that. And then I'll look at the ingredients. And then once it gets past like 3 or 4, 5, 6, I'm like, ugh. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to buckle down. I'm going to do this, right? And then I'm like, oh, well, I don't need that. I don't need the sugar. I can just take that out. I can take the sauces out because that's extra calories I don't need. So I'll take that. That's not really that necessary. And I'll get to the end of it. And at the end of this amazing recipe, I'll have chicken and rice. Like, I've taken all the ingredients out, and now I have just chicken and rice. So there's 3 parts that you need in your business, because I gotta tell you the strategy. You've got to have lead generation. You've got to have a way for people to connect with you, and you've got to have an offer, right? That connection point is so important because that's where the exchange of energy happens. So this right here is our connection point, right? So you've got to have those 3 pieces down in your business. And if you don't have those 3 pieces, most likely it's a mindset issue. I had gotten to the point, because like when I started business coaching, I was like, it is so easy to get leads. Like, I knew how to do it. I was like, this is awesome. I got this. I'm going to do it. I'm going to teach other people because it's so easy for me. And I got leads, like so easy, right? And then some things happened. Some things happened in my life. So one, I got chronic pain, and it just spiraled, and I was really struggling with my emotions. I was really struggling with depression. I got chronic pain. I was working on that. Like, my business took the back seat. Like, if you've ever had a health issue, type in health issue, right? If you've ever had a health issue that's like keeping you from really focusing in your business, type in health issue, because that's what I had, right? So I had this health issue. And then I had these besties, like business besties. And I talked to them for 2 years. We were so close. We went through everything together. And at one point, they were like, you know what? We can't handle your shit right now. Because I was going through the chronic pain, and it was a lot. It was a lot. I won't lie. They were like, I can't handle this. You've got to stop, or else we can't hang out with you anymore. And I was like, I'm being authentic. I'm in a lot of pain, right? And I know it's this whole like, and then suddenly. Okay, so what happens is if you've been in a bad relationship, right? Have you ever been in a bad relationship? Type in the comments 1, right? Because I know I've been in a bad relationship. So once I got out of that relationship, I had this mindset, that's never going to happen to me again. Never going to happen again. And right now, you're probably in kind of a bad relationship with your business. And what I mean by that is undercharging, overworking, burning yourself out, taking on clients that are just not aligned with you, saying a message that isn't totally aligned with you. Like, if you have been in a bad relationship and you are in a bad relationship with either money or your business, and you're doing these things, or even like you're running your business and you're ignoring your health, or you're ignoring your relationship, right? So if any of these things, okay, let me see if I can tag everyone. No, that's not what I want. No, stop it. Right, so if you are in a bad relationship with your business, you get to this point where you're like, you know what? I'm not going to burn myself out. I'm not going to do this thing. I'm not going to undercharge. I'm not going to burn myself out. I'm not going to overwork. I'm not going to take on clients who won't do the work, right? You get to a point where you're like, that's never going to happen to me. I'm not going to do that. And then you get in this place where, let's go back to a relationship, where you pick safe men. Not men that you are in love with. Men that you love, probably, right? But you pick safe men, right? Relationships that are safe, more convenient, right? So I did this after my marriage. I was like, no one's ever going to cheat on me. No one's ever going to cheat on me again. I'm going to pick safe men. These men won't cheat on me, blah, blah, blah. But I had the same problem in those relationships because I still felt neglected. Didn't matter if they were cheating on me. I still felt the same way. I still felt like I wasn't getting my needs met because I wasn't, right? So we get away from our business that's burning us out and running us down, and we're in a safe business, but then we're not getting clients, right? Then we're not getting clients. Then it's not really working, but we're never going back to that hustle mentality, right? And what we need to do is we need to merge the masculine and feminine energy and get to a place where we know what we want, where we're clear on what we want and how we want our business to run. And when we're clear on that, then we show up and do the work, knowing we're going to get what we want, right? So now I'm in my relationship with Marco, and like all of these, like I don't have to worry about him. He's not a safe relationship. He's not a convenient relationship, right? And I don't mind doing the extra work because like I'm here for it. This is a soulmate connection, right? And I'm not getting run down, and I'm not getting burnt out. And that's the way it needs to be in your relationship with your business, where you're not getting run down, where you're not getting burnt out. Whoever just jumped on, say hi. Let me know that you're here. Because I came on and started this an hour early, so it's going to be a surprise for many people. Right, so you want to have this relationship with your business where you're not getting burnt out, you're not getting run down, you're not undercharging, you're not taking on clients that don't align with you, right? And you want to be in a soulmate relationship, right, with someone who isn't burning you out, running you down, ignoring you, neglecting you, treating you the wrong way. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, right? So that's point number one. And if you missed the first part, like this is the second part because Facebook just totally cut me off in the middle of my sentence. Part two of this is overworking. Overworking, like in your business. So many of us have come from kind of a struggle background. You know, either, you know, some of you have immigrant parents or foreign parents, or, you know, like you came up from a background that's just been hard. Your parents split up. Like whatever your background is, right? You come up from this background where it's hard, but you were tough, right? You overcame all those challenges, right? And like okay, so this isn't quite the same, but my dad was in the Army, right? So in my head, life was tough. Life was war. My dad was a spy. He spied on the Russians, right? And he was always like in the field, right? So I had this like get prepared for anything mentality. I had this war mentality. Like we lived in Germany when the wall was up. So I had this like mentality, like you have to be prepared for anything. So the way I exercised, the way I showed up in the gym was like, let's go, let's hustle, let's push, you know? And I would just work out for 2 or 3 hours, running myself down, and that was fun for me. And there is a time and place for like, hey, let's hustle, let's challenge ourselves. But we don't want to have to do that in business. We don't want to have to do that to get the results that we want. Like, I love hustle. I love to push myself. I love to challenge myself. But if I subconsciously think that I have to struggle to survive, to make the money that I want to make, then I'm going to be creating more work for myself because I have to prove that I can handle anything, right? And I did this basic stuff, right? I did this with driving a car, right? Most people, they just get automatics. I'm like, okay, I need to drive a standard because I need to know how to drive a standard because what if, right? What if I'm in a foreign country and I have to drive a standard? Like, who just picks the hard thing to pick the hard thing? But we do this in our business. We're like, you know what? I need money now, so I'm going to take on this client that is not aligned to me and not really what I want to teach because I need the money. And it makes sense what we're doing, but we're not choosing our path. And that's the whole point of our business, is to choose our messaging, to choose our offers, to choose how we want to run our business. Or else, like, why are we doing this? Why don't we just go back to corporate, right? So do you have this hard background, this background from struggle? Because like there were many times in my growing up that my mom didn't know how she was going to feed us, right? Because my dad would be, well, he was back and forth, right? So he ran off a couple times with other women, but, and so it was just, you know, my mom and my brother and I, and my mom was like, I don't know how I'm going to take care of these kids, you know? So if you come from this struggle background, subconsciously, you're always going to make things harder for yourself because you have to prove that you can handle it if things go off track, if things get really hard. So you're always creating these extra hoops that you have to jump through, right? When you decide that it's okay if it gets to be easy, that you can let your guard down, that you can trust that it can be easy, then everything starts to change for you. But this is like an actual practice, right? So the other thing is, so one, going from, going from masculine energy to feminine energy and flow, right? Overworking, undercharging. The other thing is belief, right? So I want you to imagine for a minute, and I'm sure this isn't going to be hard for you guys, but I want you to imagine for a minute that there's someone out there that is selling the exact offer that you have. But she's selling it for $20,000 and you're selling it for maybe $1,000. Right? The exact offer. And she makes $250,000 and you make a few thousand. And I'm pretty sure you've seen this happen. You've seen that there are other coaches that are teaching what you teach, but they're selling out their offers. And you're like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? And I'm telling you, it's the mindset that you have around what you're doing, around your offer, just your mindset. You're making it harder than it needs to be. You're skipping steps in the recipe because you're never going to do that again. Right? So your mind is playing games with you. And you start to not believe. You start to believe that it's possible for that person that's selling the exact same thing you're selling for $20,000 and you're and that it's not possible for you, and you start to come up with reasons why it's not possible for you. Right? And I had this happen to me, actually. I had a woman, a previous coach of mine, steal my offer. Steal the name of my offer. And, you know, a lot of people would be like, oh, I would copyright it or trademark it. I would do this. I would make sure that didn't happen, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. But what I got from this, and she made $250,000 and I made probably 10, 20,000 the whole time it was running. She made $240,000 in one launch, and I was like, holy shit, that's my offer. That's my offer. And I knew that I was the better coach because she had been my coach at one time, and she was a decent coach, but I knew that I was better. And I was like, holy shit. This is what God's trying to tell me. That the thing that is wrong is my mindset, is my belief and my confidence around myself. And it was like, phew. And I did not play the victim. I did not be like, oh, that's mine. I did not, none of that. Like, because God was sending me a message. And because I believe, like, there's nothing new under the sun. She was probably going to create the same offer, but, saw my name and just stole it. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. What matters is that I learned that it was me, that it was my mindset. And I guarantee you this is happening to you. Like, you're looking at these other coaches that are doing the same thing that you are. And in your mind, you logically made it okay for them to make money, but not okay for you. Because they've been around longer, because they are bolder and you're an introvert, because they have more time, because whatever. You've made a reason, a logical reason why they're making more than you, or they're selling out their offer, but you're not. But really, it's your mindset allowing that to happen. Right? This is so convicting for me. I'm like, holy shit, right? So everything is about your mindset. Everything. And if you are not getting what you want in your life, if you are not getting the relationship that you want, if you're not, taking care of your body the way that you want, if you are not running your business the way that you want, or if you're not taking on dream clients, it's all a decision that you're making. And the reason my clients go from 10K months to 50K months in 30 days is because they decide and they take action. They decide that they're no longer available for the bullshit, right? So if you are ready to level up and get everything that you want, if you want to create your business from soul, if you want to go to 50K months, then my mastermind, Relentless, is open. Because it's not about just getting that money. Not about just the impact. It's about you holistically